Welcome to episode 122 of Sport SA Daily Diary. Today we're chatting to a family steeped in tradition of South African lifesaving, the Botha family. Botha family, Dylan, Tatum, Connor, how you?
Yeah, we're all good. All good. Thanks, Adam. Good to have us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much for joining us today on Sport SA Daily Diary. And we have a family of lifesavers and international lifesavers as that. Dylan, and it all started with you.
Yeah, it started with me. I made I did nippers, did all the junior stuff, made my first international or South African team in 1992, got to tour Australia, raced against the Aussies on Surfers Paradise Beach, and then went on to compete at 4 world championships after that. So yeah, and then my brood, as I'll call them, they're the future now, and they've followed in my footsteps. Their footsteps are a lot bigger than mine were, believe you me.
So, Dylan, I mean, you must have been one of the first sort of competitive sports teams to have traveled overseas after readmission.
Well, yeah, Adam, I think you're right. I think we were probably, I'm not too sure if the cricket team got over before us to India, but yeah, we were definitely the first team to go over. I still remember it quite clearly. We had quite a star-studded team, having Graham Hill, the Chalipsky brothers, Brandon Ribbing, just to name a few, Lee McGregor. They were all part of the team. It was actually quite strange because we stood on Surfers Paradise Beach, and they actually started playing the wrong national anthem. They played the old one at first. It was very embarrassing, but they did get it right. And yeah, we actually had quite a successful tour. Actually won a couple of races over there, which was quite nice for your first international.
And guys, lifesaving's broken up into a few different disciplines. You've got your board, you've got your swim, and you've got your Ironman. Maybe each one of you can explain the different disciplines for us.
I'll start with the swim. That was predominantly what I did. Yeah, so what you do, you line up on the beach. They put 10 cans out the back, about 250 meters out to sea. You swim out, you swim around those cans, and it's basically the first one back to the beach or to the wave line, get the wave, hold it in, and first one over the line wins the race. It's pretty hectic. There's no lanes, not like a swimming pool, so it gets pretty tough, especially back in my day. The guys were tough. It was some hard racing over there. Everybody swimming on top of each other, kicking, punching. Yeah, it was an experience. You had to be tough to do a surf swim, that's for sure.
No holds barred, eh?
No, yeah, nothing at all.
And the board?
Say, you want to tell about the board?
Okay. Well, the board, you start in line on the beach, and you run into the water, jump on your board, go over the wave line, and go around the board cans, which is how many meters out?
Board race is about 500 meter race. 400 meter race around the cans. There's an apex after the swim cans, and yeah, they'll swim around that. The boards are 10'6" in length, and the guys predominantly kneel. Right?
Yeah, you go around the can. When you go around the can, you normally go on your stomach, so you keep your stability. And then once you pass the third can, then you get up back on your knees, and first the wave line gets the wave, and you come up past the finish line.
And Connor, Ironman, which is, I think, the one that you're using.
Yeah, Ironman is what I'm specializing in now and focusing on quite a lot, and that consists of a swim, a board paddle, a surf ski paddle, and run changeovers in between each. So it's a 400 meter swim, 800 meter board, and 1.2k ski paddle. On the day, they'll draw the order out of a hat or random draw it, so you don't know which is going to be the first discipline. So each race is different, which is quite exciting. And then you'll start off, let's just say it's a normal swim, board, ski order. You'll do your swim around the cans, then a 150 to 200 meter run changeover between two flags. And then you'll pick up your next craft, which will be your board, paddle around the two board cans about 800 meters. do your 200-meter run again, and then get on your ski, where you normally have a handler or someone who's on your side who holds your ski in the water for you, and you run, jump on, paddle 1.2 Ks around the cans, and then 100-meter sprint run to the finish.
So it's quite a discipline then, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's a really tough race. You have to be super fit, and you have to try to stay as focused throughout the race, because there's so many technical areas in the race as well that could easily win or lose your race.
Yeah, definitely the most grueling. That's the Blue Ribbon event of surf lifesaving. Definitely.
And tell me, guys, like when I grew up in Fishhook, and I want to get back to that, Connor, because there's a specific point around that with you. But the lifesavers were there, obviously training for competition, but they were also there as for the general public. When you guys were, or when you, Connor and Tatum now obviously are lifesavers, and Dylan, you back a few years ago, did you guys actually work on the beaches as well, or was it purely training for the sport of lifesaving?
Yeah, we do work on the beach, but like as being a lifesaver, whenever you're on the beach or training or something, you're always looking out for people who are swimming in the wrong areas or could possibly get caught in rips and stuff. So you're always aware of these things. So you're always kind of on duty, and you're always there to help people. So it's really cool that you're able to learn skills and ways that you are able to help and save people's lives if they are or do become in danger in the surf, because the surf's always tougher than the person. That's what people need to understand. It's not very easy, and it can easily take anyone's life, whether you are the best swimmer in the world or you're just someone going to the beach for fun. So you got to have respect for the ocean, and that's the nice thing about surf lifesaving, is you're able to learn the different ways the ocean works and moves to help and save other people's lives.
Yeah, I think as a competitor, sorry, Adam, the guys, they do it more voluntary now. I remember when me growing up, I did one season as a pro lifeguard where you do get paid, but the kids today, they got to do 30 hours duty on the beach during the year to be able to do the competitions. But that's all voluntary, no pay at all.
Well, I mean, that's very good, I suppose. Dylan, back in the day, I suppose Baywatch was your favorite TV program.
The Hoff. Yeah, he's definitely the godfather of surf lifesaving and pro lifeguards, I must be honest.
And Dylan, I mean, it's been a few years since you first competed for South Africa. Do you remember that first time that you sort of pulled on your colours?
Yep, most definitely do. That was the tour that we did to Australia, and it was such an amazing event. I was 17 at the time. Got to tour Australia and then move on to the World Championships in Japan. And very proud moment for me, and even prouder to see my children put on the green and gold. That was probably the proudest moment.
Yeah, I'm sure, absolutely. And Connor, we spoke about Fishhook a little bit earlier. I mentioned that I sort of went there every December growing up. You had a big result in 2019 in the men's division against a specific gentleman from Fishhook. That must have been quite a moment in your fledgling career, huh?
Yeah, definitely. It was against Nick Naughton. I got him in the surf swims, in the run swim run and surf swim race, and it was open events. So I was the youngest person in the field, which was really awesome, and actually became the youngest competitor in South Africa to win an open title. So it was really nice. It was just, I actually have no words for it. It was just really awesome to be able to step up with the big guys and be able to show them what I've got.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think you more than showed them what you've got. You really put them in their place. Tatum, the first time you represented South Africa, special moment?
It was in 2019. It was a surf rescue challenge that was held here in Durban on North Beach. It was probably got to be the third day of competition. My first race I did was the under-19 surf swim, and I managed to come home with a win there for South Africa.
That's pretty incredible, seeing it was your first event at international level, which I would imagine, and maybe you can all put a bit of input in, the level must be significantly higher than what you're used to at sort of provincial, national level.
Yeah, well, what I've seen, the level of surf lifesaving around the world, especially coming out of Australia and New Zealand, is it's top notch. So these two, they really did well, and I look forward to see what they do in the future. And I'm sure they can tell you exactly. They race these kids now, so they can tell you exactly the level of competition there.
Yeah, the level of competition it's like 10 times of what you would get here in South Africa. Just the level, the way that these athletes put themselves in the races and stuff is more aggressive, faster, more technical. Some areas where us South Africans don't even realize we are not up at that level until we actually race against these Australians and New Zealanders. So it is a wake-up call when you get onto the line for your first race, because you can see where you need to work and improve if you haven't been there and experienced that level of racing before.
And you're obviously all very much water babies. Is there interest in any other sport at all, or has it always been close to the ocean type of stuff?
Well, I've always loved lifesaving since I've started. Used to swim quite a lot when I was younger, but then as I got older, I kind of moved out of the pool competition side and just focused on my surf lifesaving. But now I'm starting to really enjoy my ocean ski paddling. I've been paddling a lot with Matthew Bowman, and I'm really starting to enjoy that. So maybe in the future, coming up, I might look into racing some of those big races around the world as well. We'll just see where it goes from here.
We've chatted to a couple of surf skiers on Sport SA Daily Diary, and we certainly have strong competition in South Africa. I mean, we've got quite a few world champions out there.
Yeah, definitely. I think South Africa are one of the powerhouses in surf ski paddling and paddling in general. Having the likes of Hank McGregor, Matthew Bowman, the Naughton brothers, Kenny and Sean Rice, some world champions and multiple world champions in different disciplines in paddling as well. So I think we're definitely at the top of the game in surf ski paddling and paddling around the world.
And Dylan, you're still competing now at masters level, but you're also coaching the younger nippers. What makes you prouder in terms of sort of life-saving as a sport, when you competed internationally or seeing the youngsters that you are coaching compete internationally?
Look, always putting on the green and gold is a proud moment. But for me now, I get so much joy just watching these kids develop in the ocean. Not even to win a race, but to get a medal, but kids that have never really been top competitors and really work hard in training, and then suddenly just come out of the shadows and start getting some medals. Just the joy on their faces, and definitely I get the most joy out of coaching at the moment.
I mean, you obviously learned a lot in your career when you were participating. Doing a bit of research on you, it seems common that you are a legend in the sport. What is it sort of the biggest lesson that you pass on to your younger athletes?
Well, I always tell them, the Aussies and the Kiwis are no better than us. They got 10 fingers, 10 toes. It's a mindset, and what you put into training is what you're going to get out. Connor's definitely, I would say, a great example. He's now racing for a club in Australia called Northcliffe Surf Lifesaving Club, and the director of sport there, Mark Wally Williams, him and I used to race quite a bit over the years, and just to keep the belief in the kids, to let them know, hard work pays off. You don't always have to be racing in Australia and New Zealand. Just the surf ski paddlers are a great example of that, winning around the world. It does help, but definitely just believe in yourselves, guys, and the results come.
And Tatum, I mean, it couldn't have been easier growing up with a legend in the sport that you guys sort of ended up in. have you felt pressure to succeed based on both your dad and your brother's success?
Not really. The way that I've grown up with like training and racing and everything is that you train to the best of your abilities and you race as hard as you can. No matter the result, you will always come out with a smile on your face. And yeah, my dad will always be proud no matter where or what place I come.
And I mean, you're still very new to the sport. Obviously, you competed in nippers. You won 8 nippers titles, 2 interprovincial titles, 4 SA Open water titles. Has there been one specific moment that's been the highlight of your fledgling career to date?
I would probably say the surf swim.
At North Beach.
Yeah, at North Beach. Yeah, that one is at the top of my books at the moment.
Winning that gold medal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Connor, I mean, your resume is twice as long. Obviously, you're a little bit older, and you know, you've had more time to progress. But you were KZN Sportsman of the Year or Junior Sportsman of the Year 2019. You came second in the under 19 when you represented South Africa against New Zealand. You've also 8 times under 15 national titles, provincial titles. Again, has there been a specific moment in your career that to date has been the highlight?
Yeah, definitely. It was probably at 2018 World Champs when I came third in the Interclub World Surf Swim for under 19. That was one of the best feelings ever, just to be able to race against the best in the world and represent my club here, which was Mshlanga Rocks, who I was racing for at World Champs. And to be able to get a bronze there was one of the best feelings ever.
And you're obviously over in Australia now, well, not right now, but you have been for a few months. Why specifically have you gone over to Australia to train? Is it because the level there is so much higher and it's taken more as a sort of professional sport than it is here?
Yes, definitely. Well, it was always my dream to be able to go and race in the Nutri-Grain series there and be Coolangatta Gold and become Australian Ironman champion, which those are my goals that I'm working towards now. And it is just the pinnacle of surf lifesaving in Australia. Like to be able to race there and be the top of lifesaving there is like being the top in the world. So to be able to race and train with the best in Australia and just to be there under those like training conditions and all that it's unbelievable. So it was always where I wanted to go once I've finished school and to go race and train there.
And is it much like the rugby, guys? I mean, maybe to all 3 of you, where we love to beat Australia and New Zealand, the Poms, that sort of thing. Is it the same in the sport of lifesaving, where you cannot lose to the Aussies?
Yeah, I think definitely is. It's a different feeling to be able to beat them. Like, because I know sometimes they aren't happy about it losing to us, and that probably makes the victory just that much sweeter. That they just don't want to lose as bad as you don't want to lose, and then to be able to take them is just, it's the best thing about the sport.
You must say the same for you in back in '92, Dylan.
Yeah, well, when we first went, we didn't actually realize how good they actually were until we got on the line. We didn't really know much about them. Back then, the legend of surf lifesaving was Trevor Hendy. He captained the team. But to actually win 2 races, I won a surf swim at one of the competitions and the run swim run at the test on Surfers Paradise. And to come over the line with just cameras in your face and interviews and everything afterwards, it was quite a surreal feeling. I didn't realize back then what a big deal it was, and then to go on and compete at 4 world championships, it's a good feeling. But in saying that, they're just such good sportsmen too. The camaraderie between the Australians, the Kiwis and the South Africans, I've made a lot of good friends over the years. That's why Connor's in Northcliffe now, through Mark Williams. him and I have stayed in contact over the years. You know, people sometimes take them as being very arrogant, but I don't at all. They're just great competitors. They know how good they are, and they put their money where their mouth is, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're equally as competitive as we are, and it's just that hate to lose that probably runs through
100%.
both of us. Connor, Tatum, obviously there's a significant amount of training that needs to go into sort of professional life saving, which must have a direct impact on sort of social lives and things like that, because you've got school, you've got training, and then you obviously need to have a social life as well. Do you feel that you guys have to almost put elements of your social life to the side in order to sort of fulfill your dreams and ambitions of participating in the sport on a professional level?
Yeah, there's certain aspects that you do in the social life that you either can choose to take it or not, like going out with friends and stuff. There's always times where you are able to do that, because there's parts of the season where it's not such serious or big races coming up. Training's a bit easier. But then closer to the big events and stuff, when you're training 3 times a day, you have to do schoolwork. There's not much time for all of that. You do have to make a sacrifice of like toning down your social life to be able to train for these big events if you want to get the results or the goals that you're trying to get, trying to strive towards. So it is like our choice, like as competitors, to be able to not be as social, well, not be social, but just tone it down a bit and focus on what our goals are. Well, that's what I did, and it definitely pays off if you have a goal and you're focused on it and you're determined to get it.
And Dylan, I mean, there can't be too many families where dad, son, and daughter have all represented their country in the same discipline. Again, a hugely proud moment for you, and one that I'm sure you're going to, boast about and talk about for years to come.
Yeah, no, very proud moment. I'm trying to think if there is another family. I'm actually not too sure. I think there is one or two out there. But yeah, probably the proudest moment for me in the sport was watching Connor win the surf swim. I won the surf swim a few times, the national surf swim title a few times. I got quite a few seconds. But to see Connor come out and win the surf swim too, I don't think there is a family that can say they've got that in their family. Yeah.
And no doubt Tatum will also be winning surf swims in the near future.
Yeah, she's just got to win that open one now.
Tatum, dreams for the future? Is this sport something that you wish to pursue on a professional level, or do you have sort of other avenues and aspirations that you see yourself taking?
I think life-saving is the route that I'm going to go. I think making the Nutri-Grain would probably be one of my biggest goals right now. And then also just like competing against the Aussies at the Australian titles. That would be really cool.
And Connor, you've mentioned that you are taking this as a professional sport. Growing up, obviously, you didn't need to look too far away to have sort of a role model or an idol to look up to.
Yeah, definitely. I think everything that I've learned and have most of the experience I've gained in the sport has come from my dad, helping me since I was 8 years old as a nipper. Just teaching me the little things about surf skills and just being there on the start line next to me as I grew up through each age group, and just giving me all the knowledge that I have gained has probably come from my dad. So probably the best role model someone could ask for is, definitely, I don't even know what to say. It's just so awesome having grown up in the sport with my dad's knowledge and expertise that he has gained over his years of racing.
His pocket money's just gone up.
I mean, Dylan, that must sort of really almost sort of put a lump in the throat for you. The fact that essentially you are your kid's role model and idol. Again, there's not too many families where the kids follow in the parents' footsteps in terms of the sport and can look up to someone in terms of the actual sport that they are participating in.
Yeah, it does. It does put a lump in my throat. I must be honest. I'm very proud of these two. There's not much more I can't really teach them much more. They still come to me and everything, but they've like I said, they've chosen their path. They've got so many more idols to look up to now. Like Connor's Northcliffe Lifesaving Club, where Connor is. I mean, you've got Shannon Eckstein, probably the greatest Ironman of all time. He gets coached by Kev from New Zealand. Naomi Flood is the Olympian that coaches Northcliffe. So they got all these idols to look up to now going forward, moving to Australia eventually. I really, really look forward to see what these two can produce.
And just in closing, guys, if you had to take a Dylan of 18 back in 1992 and a Connor of current, and you had to race Ironman, who would win?
Connor, hands down. I could never get on a ski.
And in the swim?
Oh, I don't know. I think it will be close. It will be.
I'd still say Connor. He's got true grit. His mental attitude, his approach, and everything is a lot different to what I took. But in saying that, I'd like to actually give him a go one day in Big Surf. But I have to get fit again.
I think you should. Put the youngster in his place. Guys, it's been brilliant chatting to you today on Sport SA Daily Diary. Thank you for your time. Connor, good luck when you get back to Australia, and Tatum, good luck when you start competing again, and also hopefully travel abroad and fly the flag proudly.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. In next week's episodes of Sport SA Daily Diary, we'll be catching up with African athletes who've qualified for the rescheduled 2021 Olympics.